All right, welcome to our Care Coordinator monthly info sharing session. Today is Tuesday, March 4th, and I'm sharing our agenda. I'll make it a little bit bigger so we can actually see the whole document. Um, we're going to go over a couple of different topics today. Uh, we'll talk about Harmony downtime. We'll get a little refresher on our Full Lives conference and how to participate and get CEHs. The Care Coordinator monthly info share, which is today's session, of course. We'll talk about that and accurate registration for that um, in order to get access to your certificate. And we'll talk about some regulations, notice of proposed regulation changes, a new course in our learning management system, which is about reading regulations. So you have an opportunity to get CEH on that. And we'll share our Division of Public Assistance Long-Term Care Unit Communication Plan. And the rest of our document here is, of course, our resources for you. Just a few things to be reminded. After the session, we email you all the documents that we share. And if you, after today is done, we'll, of course, upload our recording to our YouTube channel, but we'll build a few questions into our learning management system in this course. And those of us who haven't didn't make it to attend today's session will be able to answer a couple quiz questions after viewing the video, and then upon completing the quiz, be able to download a certificate. Those of us who are here today, I cross-reference in person or virtually in person. I cross-reference our attendance with the registration that we have on file for you, and then we'll issue a certificate through our LMS, our Learning Management System, SDS Training Academy for you. You don't have to do the quiz in addition to attending today. So that's how this new format works. It makes a nice certificate for you, which you can download or have it available in your profile in our learning management system as well. All right, so our first topic is Harmony downtime. We did have an instance of downtime recently. Um, Kat, do you want to jump in and provide details or?
Sure. So there's the planned outages, right, every Sunday, which is I think 2 to 8 p.m. And sadly, we have no control over that. We've tried, we've asked, but the vendor is not able to change that time, so we are stuck with that time. But what happened with My Alaska being down is unrelated to anything that we were working on in Harmony. That was whatever was happening in June, I think, with the what do we call it? The orcas cut some wires under the ocean.
I think they
Um,
did.
there were some wires that got cut, and all of our IT stuff is routed through Juno, so that was the downtime. What happened on Monday? We are not sure. We're not sure. We didn't know. This wasn't planned. Again, this was not planned. But My Alaska went down, and therefore access to Harmony went down. Um, there's also some issues right now going on, again, unrelated to any of that, with support plans. And you probably got an email from me Friday and or maybe yesterday and today again. There's issue with needs, goals, and objectives section, and you could select the service that you're linking to, and it looks well in Harmony, but when you create the report, it doesn't. It all lumps up under one service. We are not sure why that is, what's going on. Well, Sky's working on getting that resolved. And I am waiting to hear from review teams about how to proceed, whether we're just going to be asking you guys to submit as is or what's going to happen. So I should have an answer today. I did speak to the review teams earlier. They just were trying to figure out kind of the easiest way to work around this. So I'm waiting to hear back for that. And I wanted to apologize because I understand. I understand. I don't do plans in a hurry, but I understand the frustration and work getting lost and being behind and trying to catch up on a Friday and you can't get in at all. And I empathize, and I am working with the review teams on kind of being a little more lenient and flexible when it comes to that, and not sending incomplete notices when we know we can't do anything in the system. So we're working on that. It's a work in progress. But I did want to apologize that and 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 say we understand and we get it. I've had work lost, in Harmony many times. Um, so I understand, and we are working on getting that figured out. And it's not a great answer to the issues, but we're on it. The best I can say is
Mm-hmm.
we know, and we're on it, and we will communicate as soon as we have some kind of an update for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to add anything.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kat. Lots of different surprises at the end of the week last week. So thanks for
Yeah,
your
great
patience
things
with us.
starting on Monday with issues. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's been fun. It's been fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next up was our full lives. And feel free to chat in comments or questions. We'll have some time for comments and questions too when we're done presenting. And I want to share my full lives participation document. Okay, so here is the full lives participation, how to participate, and we did send this out to care coordinators. So you must have or should have gotten an email of this. If you didn't, just reach out, sdstraining@alaska.gov. We wanted to explain how to engage with Full Lives. I want to say I'm really excited about Full Lives this year. The presenters are shaping up to be just wonderful, and I highly recommend that if you have the chance to go, really think about going and come and see us, and enjoy lots of great presenters. It's really it's going to be a great one, and I've gone to all of them since they first started, so it's going to be wonderful. A care coordinator who is a care coordinator for, well, let's just put it this way, all care coordinators are eligible to get 16 hours of CEH by attending the conference. And it would be relevant to you if you're a currently certified care coordinator and you need CEH. And if you are currently certified care coordinator who is in good standing and being a care coordinator for 2 years or more, you can earn the equivalent of care coordinator renewal training by participating in the conference. So those are two separate things. The CEH could be good for any care coordinator, even a new one who needs CEH. Some people are so new that it isn't a thing yet, but it could be. And those of you who are at 2 years or more and you want to take advantage of the care coordinator renewal training aspect of it, you can do that. Okay, so to get 16 hours of CEH, you need to enroll in this course that we've built in our academy. And these courses are open right now. The CEH certificate course, which isn't, there's no questions in it. It's not really a course. It's just a list of names, meaning you, who've registered, who are going to attend the academy to make sure that your name is in there to get your CEH certificate. All right. So it's not until April 10th and 11th, but you're very much welcome to go ahead and register in our SDS Training Academy for the CEH certificate. On the 17th of April, after we cross-check the attendance record from the conference itself with those of you who've registered in our system, we'll look and compare those two. If you have attended the Full Lives conference and registered for CEH, we'll release a certificate to you in the SDS Training Academy. Now, the certificates are a little bit special. Um, they do offer an attendance certificate, which is done by Alaska Training Cooperative. They'll give two certificates to anybody who comes to the conference, whoever it is, care coordinator, DSP, anybody, participant, anybody. They can pick up a certificate for 6 hours per day. So they'll offer two certificates with their branding on them, which are good for 2 hours, or sorry, 6 hours each day, right? So if you add that up, that's 12 hours. If you just go for one day, you'll get 6 hours. That is not the same as CEH. The certificates that they issue are not an SDS document. and they don't generally meet the requirements of CEH for recertification. So if you take those two documents from Alaska Training Cooperative and present them as CEH, they most likely will not accept them. And I can say they won't accept them because they don't have all of the attributes of documenting CEH that we require in our conditions of participation. But if there are those of us who are new, or we have people working with us who really don't need CEH, like maybe our HDEAs or somebody who helps us or whatever, they're welcome to get those certificate. You're welcome to get the certificate. Just keep it in your file. But it's not going to be a CEH, and perhaps you don't need CEH. So there's that. I just don't want us to get too confused, even though it is confusing. To get full Lives Conference renewal training credit, 2 years or more, right? You're certified 2 years or more. And then you go into our SDS Training Academy and enroll in the Full Lives Care Coordinator Full Lives 2025 Renewal Care Coordination Training course. So we want you to go in there and enroll if you want to do our training about the conference. It's a fun and engaging course within our LMS, which just asks you about your experience within the conference and how you'll apply it to your work in real life. So there aren't questions in there yet, but there will be. You'll see that you can enroll, but there's no content yet because the conference hasn't happened and registration for the conference itself isn't open yet. But you can go ahead and register for the care coordinator training if you intend to use that. And our enrollment for that closes on the 9th of April. And because it takes some time to get all the records from AKTC about attendance and content, we'll put questions in the course and make them available on April 14th, shortly after the conference had ended. And then that particular course will close on Friday, May 2nd. So you'll have from the 14th to May 2nd to fill that in. And like I said, it's just a course that asks about the conference itself, what you thought, what your observations were, what ideas you got, things like that. And that will count as your care coordinator renewal training, as long as you meet all the requirements.
Kara, can I jump in
Yeah,
here?
sure, sure.
Okay. So I just want to emphasize that if you are going to take the renewal training, and I know many times people say, oh, I forgot, I was intending to do it, and I forgot to sign up, or I forgot to do this. The thing that is, we can't go back and backdate anymore because the system itself was shut down on the 2nd of May. And it would not create a certificate for you, even if it's open and you go in and try to do it after the 2nd of May, it will not create your certificate. So, I mean, if you want to do it just for fun and giggles and because the time has passed, you're more than welcome. But we really want to let you know you will not receive a certificate. So please calendar this if you plan on using it so that you will not miss this important deadline so that you could get your renewal certificate here. I would hate for you to go and do all of this and just miss something so simple as your certificate because we cannot go back and get it for you. So,
Thank
I
you.
mean, I know we've been through it many of times and we're learning that it's just something that we can't do and we brought it up over and over again. So,
Thank you,
thank you.
Cassandra. Yeah. So just remember there's two separate ways to sign up. One of them is to sign up for the conference itself with Alaska Training Cooperative. And the other way to get your credits with us is to sign up for your CEH with us, our SDS eThink training site, and sign up for your care coordinator renewal with us, as long as you meet the requirements for doing the renewal training with us. And then you'll have it set and you'll be able to complete your renewal training and all of your CEHs for that particular year by coming to the conference and engaging in the conference. We put some FAQs on there. How come you have to register separately for Full Lives and enroll in the SDS Training Full Lives course? We work together with Alaska Training Cooperative they require separate enrollment because they're with UA. We're not all one big system. Our SDS Training Academy is actually quite small. It's a separate learning system. We co-sponsor Full Lives Conference. We collaborate with them. We have for years. Our role is to support you as a care coordinator and provide a framework for recording your training and recording your outcomes and your success with training. And that's why we do it within our training academy rather than using University of Alaska's stuff, which we couldn't even use because we're not literally part of them. Can I get credit if I'm a care coordinator applicant or not certified and enrolled for 2 years or more? Not from SDS training. You can get the certificate from Alaska Training Cooperative. This would be for a person who's new. You know, they're an applicant. They're not yet a care coordinator. You have to be a care coordinator to get our CEH offering and our renewal offering. Is it good for 12 hours of CEH? No, I put 12-hour certificate of attendance, and then I, after that, learned that there's actually 2 6-hour ones, but they don't count for CEH. How come it doesn't count? They make their certificates to meet their requirements for proof of attendance, which is related to their funding. That's why you'll see like course evaluations and things, like usually after you do a session or you attend a session, someone will come in and say, fill out the evaluation. That's part of meeting their requirements for funding. And the same thing goes for their certificate. They're just, doing their protocol. It's different than what SDS requires for care coordinators. And both kinds of certificates are not going to add up to more CEH. Only the one that we give out is going to be the 16-hour one. I want to attend, but I'm not sure if I really will be able to. If I do, can I get credit for it later? And the answer is no. You must enroll by the deadlines above and attend the conference and complete the renewal training in order to get the renewal training. And of course, you have to go to the conference to get the 16-hour CEH. There's no harm in registering within our SDS Learning Training Academy. And for whatever reason, you can't attend the conference, like something comes up and you can't do it, that's okay. We're just going to pass your name by because we're going to cross-check who attended with who registered with us. So if you just go ahead and register and you miss it, no worries, okay? No troubles at all. Last question is if I have an extended certification period. This is new. Extended certifications could be up to 4 years for different provider types, including care coordinators. Can I use the Full Lives Conference 2025 Care Coordinator Renewal Training I got in 2025 to renew a 4-year extended certification period? Best answer, we did inquire with our CERT staff. Generally, the answer to this would be yes. Trainings are valid for the duration of the waiver certification period they were acquired for. You aren't expected to renew or retrain until your renewal application due date is near, unless our provider certification and compliance unit asks you to. If you have individual questions about this and you just want to make sure, you are welcome to email our certification staff at dsdscertification@alaska.gov, because all certification periods are, unique unto themselves. You should, if you have any doubts, just shoot them an email and verify. Okay. Checking our chat really quick here.
No
just
questions about this, but we could give folks a minute to ask.
Yeah.
Nothing in the chat on this.
Anything? Are you excited for Full Lives? I can't wait to say that there's an agenda out there.
I know, I was going to say, we can tell you that we might have gotten
we're on the
but it's good.
some of us here are on the conference committee, I believe. I'm not looking at the attendance of right now today here, but I think some of us are on it, and we just got a draft agenda, and I call it the Full Cries Conference for me because I'm just gonna cry the whole time because they're so great. They're very heartfelt, very professional, very inclusive, a very inclusive slate of opportunities to, to get a presentation and to engage. So I'm super excited about it and super proud of all the folks who had their submissions accepted. So we have the privilege and honor of reviewing those and saying, these are all so great, we can't decide, but we get help with the committee and it's fun. So I highly encourage it if you can, and just we'll keep everybody posted on the mechanization, how to do with this, that, and the other thing as it comes up. And of course, the registration will give everybody notice upon that when it comes up. And I'm going to go back to my agenda, and well, I guess I can highlight that again. Let's look at that real quickly. We can look into our LMS for the reading regs too, which is fun. Okay. So I have this, I'm sharing our agenda again, hopefully. Okay, so I did talk about the 2025 Care Coordinator Monthly Info Share. Of course, if you're here, you did it. Maybe not if you just had the link. If you want your certificate, go ahead and register if you haven't already, and then we'll make sure that that happens. Proposed regulation changes on residential child care licensing for foster care licensee, providing home and community-based waiver services. We always like to put out the word on these because of sharing opportunities to engage in hearing, public participation, a stakeholder engagement. There's a link there for that Zoom, 12 to 1 p.m. on Zoom. You can join it by using that link, or you may call the toll-free number if you or someone you know is potentially impacted by these regs. And by that, we mean providers, families, Alaskan citizens, voters, anybody who wants to learn about this residential child care licensing proposed regulation. We encourage you to use the information and participate. Thoughts or comments so far?
Really quickly, and not on this because we didn't get a chance to add it, but there was also an e-alert about sharing your experience on the Medicaid long-term services and supports. That's the
Yes.
rate study. And they are asking for feedback from families and recipients. So, and so the e-alert went out, and then I had sent out an email as well, just FYI, in case you didn't get it. So make sure you share that with families so that they can participate. And I think that's not happening until the end of March, I think March 24th or so, but it's just, I don't know, things get busy in the spring and we get busy and we forget things. So just make sure you share that with families so that they know they could
Very true.
provide input. And we didn't get a chance to add it to the agenda because that just went out like a couple hours ago. So we didn't do that. But
Yes. Absolutely. Okay. I went into our LMS and found our course called Reading Regulations. And I'm going to share that. I'm going to view it, and then I'm going to try to view it as a student so that it looks more like a student would see it. And I'm not sure if it's really going to look great like that, but I will try. Usually when we view them as a student, it's a little weird because it still thinks that it knows that we're administrators within it. So it doesn't look exactly how it's going to look if you're a student, but that's okay. It's an approximation. All right. So this is our course called Reading Regulations. It is open for registration and completion right now. And you'll see something very much like this. It is about literally that, reading regulations. We want you to be comfortable with doing that, especially laws that maximize independence and inclusion for Alaskans. The regulations are a very interesting read because they're very formatted, but once you learn that format, it's a breeze, and it's very easy to find them using the hints and tips and education that we have here within this course. And it'll give you a chance to practice that, and it'll give you a quiz to practice that, and a certificate of CEH. So what it will do is teach the difference between statutes, regs, and conditions of participation. You can get practiced with citations and finding the regulations. And practical reading strategies so that you can understand the content better. Concepts of lawmaking, how are they created? Why are they important for you to understand? What is the shape of citations? How do they go? What do the letters mean? How are they built? Um, but of course, we had to put, and this was made by our dear colleague Delight before she moved over to the infant learning program. But many of us are familiar with Schoolhouse Rock, so I'm just going to say it does have the I'm Just a Bill video. So you got to do this just for that. Okay? Sorry for the earworm because I know that you're playing
I
it in
loved
your
it.
mind
The
right
minute I
now.
saw that she did that, I was super excited. I was stoked. I was like,
Yes.
that's my favorite.
Yes. It's one of the fun things that we can do with our LMS is, we can grab onto things that are out in the world and use them in the course, and that's one of the funnest ones. So watch the video to refresh yourself on the content about creating laws and the basis for the rest of the course. So there is reading, required reading. What are statutes, regulation, and conditions of participation? Required reading about why it matters. Reading about intro to citations, statutes and regulation, and just conditions of participation. And this is a video that will help you check your understanding. So if it says H5P, it's a video, and it'll be a short presentation with some pop-ups where you'll just click on the answers, okay, within the video. Like I said, it's not showing me as if I'm truly a student because it says restricted, finding laws. As you go through the courses, it'll tell you you'll have to, mark something complete to get to the next piece of it. That is the work that we did within it to just make the course flow right. So after you get to check your understanding and finish that, then you can mark it complete. And then you'll go to best practices for reading. We'll have reading strategies, words and punctuation that are used in regulations. It's a very special art of itself, the way they're formatted. And so we'll hopefully help you understand that and give you some resources for reaching out. For example, did you know that there's a chat feature? If you go to our regulations, there's a little chat feature in the corner where you can text in and just ask for help. And there are volunteers that will, as I understand it, they're volunteers, but maybe not. Maybe there's staff too that jump in on that chat, but they can help you find regs that are about certain topics. So I've used them and they're pretty good. They're okay, and you could use that too. Uh, then there's a Let's Practice Reading, which is actually a quiz, and it tells how it's structured and the framework of it, and you'll get a certificate of completion. And this is quite the involved course, so it will be 2 hours CEH for our wonderful new Reading Regulations CEH course. So I hope that inspires you to go into our CEH and work through that course. Just so you know, don't be afraid of the quizzing part. The quiz is put together so that you can try it as many times as you want in order to get 100%. But you have to have 100% to get the certificate. But don't worry, you're going to get 100% because even if you have to do the quiz again, you'll get it. That's what we call a teaching quiz. And it's a thing in adult learning. It's actually a really effective way to learn as an adult learner. So I'm excited about that. Thank you for looking into that with me and us. I'm looking at our agenda again. Let's see. We just had our at the end here, Division of Public Assistance Long-Term Care Unit Communication Plan. And I will open that and share it. And it's taken a second to,
We might have shared this already, and we
okay,
you might have gotten it as an email. Just a reminder, this is what DPA would like for folks
okay,
to use as a way of communicating.
yeah,
I don't remember. I think we shared it in the provider info share, and we
yeah,
did send it, and it was an e-alert, I think last
it
month or something.
was, it
But just
was.
and if you are still struggling, I will say that if you're still struggling with getting a hold of DPA staff or hearing back, let me know, and I would kind of like examples so that I could let our leadership know. They have been very involved and kind of wanting to know what's going on. DPA has also been asking if this if this communication guide that they created is helpful. So if you have good or bad feedback, we would love to hear it so that we could pass that on.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Absolutely. So it's great, over the years we have heard communications with DPA, globally long-term care unit of DPA. DPA covers all public assistance. Only some people, the people we serve, are served by the long-term care unit there. It's a little confusing because LTC means all sorts of different things. It can mean a facility and all that, but in this document and in this concept, it just means that there are people who are served by DPA who are also getting services for long-term care, whether that's in the community or in a facility. It's kind of not to that level yet here in this concept. But they did make a contact plan for care coordinators, and your uh, your your system of communication is here. Email by DSM. It says listed in order of preferred channel. Um, One thing that they say when they have presented with us in the past or kind of in the recent past too, sort of, is that they want to use the correct channel or the preferred channel to get to them, meaning, the method that's described here, um, and avoid uh, hitting all of them. In other words, if I'm going to email DSM, that's the number one way. So I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to do everything here. Okay. They want to be able to work their inquiries as they come in. And some folks who engage with DPA don't have, for example, DSM. So DSM is going to get the attention that it needs because we know it's another professional serving somebody who has, needs for this communication to be understood. So yeah, there's even the physical office location. There isn't drop-in. There, people are not seen by the caseworker in any of the offices. If a person wants to visit their caseworker, then they would have to make arrangements ahead with that particular caseworker. There's options for case-specific questions. Sometimes that people will get, of course, have a caseworker. Sometimes you'll get a letter that says you don't have a caseworker. If a person has a letter that like that where there's no caseworker, it gives you an option to contact all the leadership via email, DSM, or voicemail. There is a contact list that has email all LTC leadership in that case. Submit the documents by one communication channel only. Duplicates may cause delays. A place for updated online forms, which you can explore. Only when you are emailing, only refer to one client per email. That'll help them keep all of the information separate. And of course, as a reminder, to have a current release of information on file to communicate with care coordinators, and that is their release of information form, DPA's release of information form, which you can find on their form pages. It is not SDS's release of information form. And they've got handy names of leadership here, which is great. Eligibility team contact, it's separate caseworkers. So I don't have to read them all out, but you get a good contact list of their team, and we will send that to you, after the session. And I'm sure you probably already have a copy of it, but that's okay. We're here to bolster learning. If people have never seen that, then now you have. So that's good. Okay, I'll go back to our agenda as long as it wakes up here, and I'll share it. All right. And then at the bottom, we just have our reminders, things that we've gone over before, our individual and quarterly, a family quarterly information sharing, no registration required, link to join, separate separate times and dates. I know that we have only 2024 on here. We should update that. Make a note to myself. We do have a individual and family office hour, which we have at the bottom of this list, first and third Monday of the month by Zoom. So this is the intent of this. The thought here is that we envision a care coordinator could bring a family into a Zoom meeting or give them this link or come with them or both attend, virtually. And if a family has questions or is facing some need for understanding about part of the system or something like that, and they're asking and you think it would be a good idea to get with training to help, then I say go for it. It's a lunchtime meeting, so maybe that helps for people who are working. Where families and individuals more than welcome to come in. And it's the same staff. It's me and myself and Cassandra and Damon and Kat. We're all in, we run those sessions too. So we'll do our best to answer questions as they come up. Our provider monthly info share is there, and we don't offer that. We don't offer CEH for that. It's just provider info share. SDS nursing unit staff and our training staff. The nursing unit staff is available the third Thursday of every month in the provider info share. So that's interesting because we were talking about it yesterday. We thought that since our nursing staff is available, maybe you don't have questions about long-term care or the PASSAR process, which is admissions to long-term care facilities, but maybe you have questions about NOCM or other kinds of nursing-related questions. Molly and her staff will join us on the third Thursday of every month for that. So you could come in and ask. And our Training Academy site, our YouTube channels, and we'll send you this too. Okay, I'm checking our messages. Thanks for your feedback about DPA's communication. Okay, very slow response time. Response in 14 days from them using the new DSM. That's the best in years. Yay. DPA is still slow. Okay. Outlook is not a secure HIPAA compliant means of communication. That is true. That's why you use DSM. You can use your own agency ROI for DPA though. Okay. I have not tried doing that or heard it, but that's fine. If you have your own agency ROI, it may be that they're doing that. It's a little different than my understanding, but that's okay. If they've updated what they do, great. It would be ideal if they communicated clearly with the recipients or their legal reps. We shouldn't have to be the go-between. I think that DPA really does try. They're pretty good about sending letters, and their letters are plain language. It is quite a complicated system, so I can see how we have to be a team and support. We have to support the understanding of people we serve. A lot of everything that we do is based on their Medicaid eligibility, really, in terms of having a waiver. So it's to their advantage and our advantage to help out. But yes, clearer communication would be great. I do give them a lot of respect and thanks for the changes that they have made, and they've come a long way. So looking forward to more good things from and with DPA as well. Okay, it's 2:42. We can open our meeting for your questions. What are your thoughts? About any of our topics today? Any thoughts about what we've gone over? Harmony downtime, our opportunities to participate in full lives, new CEH in the academy,
There
communicating
is a
with.
question about the cost, and I don't know how much.
Okay, the cost of full lives.
Full lives. Mhm.
Okay, we're not sure yet. They'll let us know.
It should be soon letting us know.
Yeah, it's usually about Okay, there's a response in here that says 225. That's pretty typical for full lives. They did have registration open for like for tuition assistance, and that is all handled through Full Lives, all through their website, any payment information. And they do some tuition assistance and some travel assistance. It's very limited. They really just limit it to folks who have no other resources to attend. But yes, 225 for 2 great days and full training for renewal and CEHs for a year. It's most likely 225. They'll give information out, official information, as soon as they have it all together. Other questions and thoughts? Okay. A good overview of a number of items. We had special speakers last couple ones. So it's nice just to have us talk about important things. Thank you. Yeah. Well, next session we'll have we have Tony Newman, Director of Senior and Disability Services. And if you go into the course in the Training Academy, this course, which is our Care Coordinator Monthly Info Share, you will see our guest speakers listed under the months that they're coming. There is another guest speaker, and I can't remember exactly who they are without seeing it. But you can go in there, and as we get these contacts built, somebody wants to come and speak with us, then we just welcome them, and we'll put it on there. So you can look in the course just to see what's happening for guest speakers. All right. The old Zoom link. Okay. We'll make sure and take a look at our emails and make sure that they have the new one on it. Thank you.
We have some good guest speakers in mind too, coming up for the summer. Kat and I was out at a fair. I don't know
Senior
what kind of
resource
fair
fair.
we'll call
Yep.
it. Yeah,
Mhm.
senior resource fair, and had some good contacts and leads. We think you all will love them.
Great. Well, thank you. We especially appreciate your comments and suggestions, or if you find errors in our outreach, our public outreach and documents. I know we sent out a document or a couple documents about the person-centered support plan, and we fixed it. We fixed our call it a cheat sheet, but I guess it's more than that. But a list of services with unit sizes, and so eagle-eyed care coordinators caught mistakes on that, which I thought was wonderful and made suggestions. So we're going to issue a new one. And thank you for helping us make things that work for you. Yeah. 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 The team is responsive. Yeah, thank you. Okay, question about an e-alert to providers regarding where in the COPS it outlines that if the recipient has a change to physical, emotional, or mental health, the legal rep and care coordinator are to be contacted. It's been a practice for years that staff are making the decision if the recipient should seek medical treatment, and legal reps and care coordinators aren't finding out about events until well after it would be appropriate to seek medical care. It's creating headaches. We can look into that. Good feedback. I'm just making a note. Okay. All right. Well, it's 10 till, or just coming up on 10 till. It's 2:48. There is no rule saying that we have to stay the whole entire time to the top of the hour. Within 10 minutes is good. Oh, it says, can you clarify the new medication process? Care coordinators no longer enter medication, and it is not on the support plan any longer.
That's it.
Go ahead.
That's all there is.
That's all there is.
That's all there is. What happens is the way Harmony was structured is you guys would enter it under the medication tab and it would feed onto the plan. But then when assessors went in and they were doing assessments, the CAT's also linked to the medication tab. So when they updated medications, it would create duplicate triplicates, multiples of the same medication. And then we, for a while, let's say a couple of years now, we have said you don't have to update the medications tab, but it would still show up on the plan. And unless you went in and made updates, it would still have those duplicates. So we discontinued it. That took some time. You do need to enter the medications on the applications, and that is where they live, and that's where they get reviewed by the assessment team and the intake teams, the assessors. But they are no longer required to be entered in Harmony because you can't even see the tab anymore. So when you log in, you should not see the medications tab. And if you do, let me know. But I tried it yesterday and it was not there. And we have worked a long time to get this done because this was an ask from many, many, many care coordinators. Because that was kind of a messy part of the of Harmony. But you could still list them. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. You could list them in the health summary. You don't have to. You can. Because they get listed on the application for all waivers on the applications. You should, if the person is on medication, you should list those medications. So, and I cannot thank, I can't take all the credit for it. That's a team effort, but we did advocate hard for a long time to get this squared away. And the easiest solution was to just remove it. And we'll see. I will let the Harmony Health team know. They've been asking if there's been feedback about it. So I will let them know that there's a lot of positive feedback about it that comes from this session. So they've been asking, but yes, you still need to list the medications on the applications. So when you do your renewal applications for all the waivers, whether it's the IDD, ISW, the NFLUC waivers, you will need to list the medications on them. But it's not gonna look so messy on the support plan anymore. We fixed one thing with the medications, and then we kind of somehow broke the goals section, but you can't have it all at the same time. We'll get that. We'll get that fixed. So
We're working on it.
Yeah. But I will let the Harmony Health team know. They're going to be very excited to hear that this was well received because they were worried that people won't like it. But there's not a specific section on the IDD application to list medications, but there's free space where you can list meds if you want to. And I've seen folks list them in there. And the assessors, I believe, ask as well for IDD.
Yeah.
I haven't done an ICAP in years, but I thought we were at one point asking for medications. So. But
Okay.
it's not as a grid like NFLUC has a grid for medications. IDD is just, I think, has a free text. So, but yay, I'm excited. This is good.
Yay.
Thank you for the
I'm
feedback.
excited too. Yeah. Medications can also be in medical records. Yep. Well, awesome. Yeah. Thanks for hitting those summary points about our recent change regarding the person-centered support plan. We appreciate everybody's engagement on that topic as well. It looks like folks are done with questions. So I'll go ahead and call the session to a close. Yeah. Thank you for attending today. Give us the rest of today and tomorrow to upload the video and build a few questions in if you have colleagues who did not attend today, and also to get your certificate issued through our learning management system. This takes a little bit for it to be built, and we have to wait till the session is done to actually do it. So give us a bit and we'll get that to you. As always, any questions can go to sdstraining@alaska.gov and we'll help take care of you no matter what the question is. And we appreciate all your hard work on serving our Alaskans. And we will certainly see everybody next month. And have a great rest of the week, everybody, and a wonderful afternoon. And goodbye for now.